What's up YouTube? Welcome back. Today it's Lazy Daze Channel and we're back at it again with some history reactions for you today, and we're back on the World War One by Epic History TV, and we're going to be doing 1918. We've literally just watched 1917. We were very interested and we just sort of wanted to jump into it and finish it really. Yeah, like the Americans are about to join in, Russia has left, they've obviously signed the armistice, Romania signed the armistice, so we've got some real strong powers sort of leaving the battle and some new ones coming in, so it's really sort of interesting to see what sort of happens here, and really, like I said, like in the last video, it seems so up in the air that it could go either side. I know it looks like America's joining now, which is going to give us a bonus, but before that happened, it really did look like either side could have won. Like it was so
it was
up in the air.
just throwing people into a meat grinder.
It is just throwing people into a meat grinder, and we didn't learn because we then done the same thing in World War Two. It's just horrible. Some of the figures in these fights are ridiculous. Like you've got 200,000 like British soldiers, and then 230,000 German soldiers. That's like 500,000 people in one battle. You're losing nearly half a million people. Like that number is just so hard to actually comprehend, you know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, if you guys are liking the content, then please hit the notification bell, like, comment, subscribe, but we're just going to jump straight into this.
Let's do it.
1918. After 3.5 years of war, the Allies are in crisis. Russia has been rocked by revolution, and its new Bolshevik government has signed an armistice with the Central Powers. Thousands of German troops will be freed up to fight on the Western Front, where the carnage of trench warfare has already claimed more than 1 million lives. But Germany is also desperate. Britain's long naval blockade has led to shortages and social unrest at home, while America's entry into the war brings fresh manpower and vast resources to the Allied cause. Germany faces inevitable defeat unless it can win a quick victory on the Western Front.
That is the question. We know the outcome, but how did it happen?
US President Wilson announces his 14 points. They outline his vision for a post-war world, including an end to secret treaties, a reduction in the size of armed forces, self-determination for the people of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and an international organization to settle future disputes. But most European leaders dismiss his ideas as wishful thinking. At Brest-Litovsk, Bolshevik Russia signs a peace treaty with the Central Powers. Russia gives up vast amounts of territory in exchange for peace.
Whoa.
500,000 German troops can now be redeployed from the east to the Western Front.
That's a lot of land they're getting from
where
Russia.
German General Erich Ludendorff plans an all-out, last-ditch offensive to win the war. Ludendorff's spring offensive catches the Allies off guard. German stormtroopers, using new infiltration tactics, help to overwhelm the British Fifth Army, which is soon in full retreat. The German advance threatens to split the British and French armies, with disastrous consequences. So French General Ferdinand Foch is appointed Supreme Commander of Allied forces to coordinate strategy. Outside Amiens, British and Australian troops improvise a defense and finally halt the German advance. The German offensive switches to the north, targeting the Channel ports. But the British inflict heavy losses on the Germans and prevent a breakthrough.
Oh, maybe not.
Above the trenches, the First Air War continues to escalate. Each side now has more than 3,000 aircraft in service on the Western Front. But by 1918, the Allies have won air superiority thanks to greater resources. On the 21st of April, Germany's most famous pilot, Manfred von Richthofen, the Red Baron, is shot down and killed near Amiens. With 80 victories, he's the war's highest-scoring ace.
Whoa!
He's buried by the Allies
80
with full
victories.
military honours. Britain's new independent bombing force launches a daylight raid against Cologne. It marks the beginning of Britain's own strategic bombing campaign. On the ground, Ludendorff's offensive switches south, targeting the French.
Oh, they're really trying
German
to give us like,
troops advance 30 miles.
they're really trying to change up the tactics in this trench
Yeah,
warfare.
they're
like,
really going for it now.
yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, they're like, okay, this area isn't working. We'll try this. Is this area weak? No. Okay, we'll try here. Is this weak? Do you know what I mean? And like, is it supported if they move men from this area up there to defend that one? Can we now go through here?
I can't believe the Red Baron either. 80 fucking confirmed.
80 confirmed, like...
But I do like it how
shootdowns.
the Allies buried him with
full honours. Like,
I fully do respect that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, because a lot of people understand that, like, even though you're doing, like you might be killing British people, you're doing it because you're a soldier, and they understand that you're doing your orders.
He displayed incredible, skill out on the battlefield. And
Incredible.
80 fucking confirmed. That is just crazy.
It's so crazy. It's
I'm
back in those times as well. Like,
with planes like that as well.
that's it. Like the fact that you didn't get shot down is what I'm more surprised about.
Yeah.
Not how many you shot down, but like how you was able to keep your aircraft like in the air for so long.
But are halted at the River Marne.
If you have any videos
just
about
as
him,
fresh
let us know.
American divisions enter the line.
Alright,
The
so now we're
US
getting support
1st
from the
Division
Americans.
is the first to see combat at the Battle of Cantigny. 3 days later, the US 2nd Division wins victory at the Battle of Belleau Wood. By now, there are nearly 1 million American soldiers in France, with 10,000 more arriving every day. The fourth phase of the German offensive leads to a 9-mile advance, but is finally halted by a French counterattack. In Italy, Austria-Hungary launches an attack at Asiago and the Piave River to support Ludendorff's offensive in France. But it's repulsed with heavy losses, and morale amongst the Austro-Hungarian army collapses. British and French troops land at Murmansk in northern Russia. It's the beginning of Allied intervention in Russia's civil war, on the side of so-called white or anti-Bolshevik forces. On the Western Front, the Germans' final attack is defeated in the Second Battle of the Marne. Ludendorff's offensive has cost the Germans more than 600,000 casualties and has failed to make a decisive breakthrough.
So everyone he got
final
from Russia
has failed.
plus more.
Yeah. They just weren't able to knock France out quick enough.
The Allies now go on the attack. At the Battle of Amiens, British, Australian, Canadian and French troops, supported by tanks and aircraft, advanced 7 miles in a single day. General Ludendorff calls the 8th of August the Black Day of the German army. German troops are exhausted, hungry and demoralized, and begin to surrender in their thousands.
Understandable at this point, John.
Yeah.
The Battle of Amiens begins the Allies' 100 Days offensive. Trench warfare is over. The Germans are in full retreat. In the Balkans, a new Allied offensive at Dobropolje breaks through Bulgarian positions. The overstretched Bulgarian army collapses, and 2 weeks later, Bulgaria signs an armistice. In the Middle East, British-led forces defeat the Turks at the Battle of Megiddo taking 25,000 prisoners. Allied troops soon occupy Damascus and Aleppo. On the Western Front,
big offences in the east.
Marshal Foch orders a general attack. British, French and American armies reach the Hindenburg Line, a line of reinforced German defences, and break through.
It really does look like it's
Ludendorff
Mate, it's
informs the
collapsing so
Kaiser
quickly.
that the military situation is hopeless and that Germany must seek an armistice. Germany sends a request to US President Woodrow Wilson, who in return demands German withdrawal from all occupied territory and the Kaiser's abdication. On the Italian
Big
front,
request.
the Allies deliver the final blow to Austria-Hungary at the Battle of Vittorio Veneto. The Austro-Hungarian army disintegrates and 300,000 prisoners are taken,
37 Italian.
with the
37,000
Central Powers
Italian.
facing collapse. The Ottoman Empire
435,000.
signs an armistice with the
Oh
Allies
God.
at Mudros.
Yeah.
4 days later, Austria-Hungary signs an armistice with the Allies at Villa Giusti. At Kiel, the German High Seas Fleet is ordered to make a suicidal attack on the British Navy, but instead it mutinies. Revolution spreads through Germany. The Kaiser abdicates, and a German Republic is proclaimed. On the 11th of November 1918, a German delegation signs an armistice with the Allies inside Marshal Foch's railway carriage at Compiègne. It comes into force at 11 AM, but fighting continues until the last moment. American Private Henry Gunter is killed, charging a German machine gun at 10:59. He is thought to be the last
1
soldier
minute.
killed during World War I.
1 minute and he could have survived. War could have been over.
3 days later, in East Africa, German General von Lettow-Vorbeck surrenders his army on the Chambezi River. For 4 years, he has tied down huge numbers of Allied troops, remaining undefeated while cut off from home.
Jesus.
He is still considered one of history's greatest guerrilla leaders.
That I was not expecting. He was able to
Yeah.
hold it down
The
that long.
Paris Peace Conference opens at the Palace of Versailles, just outside the French capital. Delegates accept a
Crazy.
proposal to create a League of Nations to settle future international disputes. The Versailles Treaty, signed in June, imposes harsh terms on Germany. Its military is restricted in size.
This treaty is the issue. This is
It must
why
pay
there was a
war
second
reparations to the Allies. It loses territory to its neighbours, and its colonies are seized by the victors.
Whoa. I didn't realise
Germany
the
must
context
also
of this
accept
was-
responsibility for the war in a war guilt clause, a source of lasting resentment in Germany. The boundaries of Europe are redrawn. Poland re-emerges after 100 years of foreign rule, while Austria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and an enlarged Romania emerge from the ashes of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The Ottoman Empire is dismantled. New states, most under European control, are created in the Middle East. Here,
Didn't
as in
last long.
Europe,
No, I
the
didn't.
seeds of future conflict are sown. While in the Far East, former German possessions in China are handed to Japan, to China's outrage. World War I claimed the lives of 9.5 million soldiers. 1 in 8 of those who fought. 21 million more were wounded. 7 million civilians also lost their lives. Huge areas of Europe were left devastated.
Jeez. Never to recover.
Old empires vanished. New states were born. Lives across the world were transformed. The world was never the same again. If
So
you
that
enjoyed this
was
video,
the end of World War One.
That's fucking mental.
That's insane. That's insane. Like the fact that it all crumbling down so quick was interesting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't realise it sort of happened that quick towards the end.
No, I wasn't. I didn't know that he'd done that. I didn't know that the Russian commander had, still to this day lives as one of the greatest.
No,
guerrilla.
German.
Yeah.
German. You said Russian. You said Russian, I think. So
Oh,
the German
yeah.
in Africa, is still
How
regarded as
the
one of the most
fuck
guerrilla.
was he able to do that?
Yeah, I know. You like considering he had no connections with his sort
He was
of
cut off
forces. He was
completely.
cut off. Like he wasn't getting reinforcements, wasn't getting supplies or anything like that, and just was able to commit into what a 3 or 4 year guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. That's
And the way that every single country would like eventually came through.
yeah, that was
Like-
interesting as well. Like I said, it's that treaty that really fucked things up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you noticed that Italy didn't get anything out of the treaty, yet it was promised that they were supposed to get some of the land from Austro-Hungary.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they become the aggressors in the next war. Obviously, you see what happens to Germany. Do you know what I mean? They had to give so much away, so
Yeah.
that's why they become a aggressor in the next war. And then also, even though Japan got a few of the areas from Germany and China, the problem with it is basically they tried to, at the treaty, they tried to be a first world country type of thing, and tried to get all the other European states to sort of register and acknowledge that, and they were like, no, you're an Asian country, so you're not as good, pretty much. So they didn't get as much on there, so that's why they then basically become the aggressors in that, because they obviously, the European countries didn't see them as an equal country and state, and didn't have as much power, so that's why they become the aggressors. So yeah, it's really interesting to see sort of where things weren't done correctly then leads into the future war, you know.
Yeah. The content,
Yeah.
Epic History TV's content, absolutely incredible, really detailed, and it's definitely does give you some information that you wouldn't have heard anywhere else, really.
Yeah, I'm really interested in it, and now we've just got the Battle of Somme next to do, which I'm sort of looking forward to. If you guys are enjoying that content and our content, then please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you're enjoying Epic TV's content, a link will be in the description down below. Head over to his channel. But other than that, guys, we will catch you in the next one.
In a bit.